All right, very good news this week. Very good news out of the United States from the Trump administration. So, of course, it's had very little coverage in mainstream media because it doesn't fit their political narrative that Donald Trump is the Antichrist. But after all the kerfuffle about tariffs, tariffs have been removed for more than $2 billion worth of New Zealand exports to the United States. Other countries are benefiting as well. But the big winner for New Zealand are our beef exporters and beef producers, because beef, I think, is the single largest commodity item that we export to the United States. I'm not sure if that's by volume or by dollar value. So how good is this? As always on tariff and trade, often the tough talk of Trump seems to be negotiating ploys, but they're gone. The new tariffs are gone. We're joined now to discuss this by Kate Acland. She's the chair of Beef+Lamb New Zealand. Kate, thank you for joining us. For those who don't know, tell us a quick thumbnail sketch of Beef+Lamb New Zealand.
Well, for Beef+Lamb New Zealand, we're a levy-funded organisation. We represent all of the sheep and beef farmers in New Zealand, and we have quite a broad range of things we do, but one of them is trade policy. So that's what we're here to talk about today, and it is really good news.
Did you guys know this was coming, or was it a hope?
No, look, we didn't know this was coming. I guess, it's largely driven by cost of living crisis in the States, food price inflation. And look, we've always said that tariffs will be inflationary. So, there was political pressure at the US end, and ultimately Americans love their hamburgers, and the additional cost of tariffs was just making them cost too much.
What's the value of our beef exports to the States?
Well, it's dropped slightly since April, but it is still our largest beef export market. And these tariffs were costing us about $300 million.
Okay, all right. So does this mean volumes go up because there's more demand without the tariff for New Zealand product in the US?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, there is a global shortage of red meat protein, particularly beef. We've got record low herd numbers in the US. Brazil and Australia, they're all on the decline. So it will be really interesting to see how this shapes market dynamics. As you said in your intro, other countries are also seeing their tariffs drop. But New Zealand has really excellent access into the US. So we've got a quota of 240,000 tonnes that has a very low tariff rate of 0.3%. So we're going from 15 back to 0.3%.
That's a lot.
Which puts it, yeah. So it puts us in a really good position against, the likes of Brazil.
Are there other countries that send beef exports to the US who still have higher tariff rates? Are we part of a special little friends group?
So Australia's also got really good access. As I said, countries like Brazil will be facing more limited access than we are. So it does put us in a good position. But what we've seen actually is all of our markets are strong at the minute. So since these tariffs came into play in April and then they were increased again in August, volumes to the US have gone down. Volumes to places like the UK have gone up significantly. So, there's been sort of a strategic redirection of product. So I think this will just take some pressure off the US. It'll take pressure off the US consumers. It'll take pressure off our meat companies and exporters. And look, ultimately, it's going to be better for farmers.
All right. What does it mean to the price of beef at New Zealand supermarkets, to New Zealand consumers, Kate?
Look, I don't think it will have any real impact on the price for New Zealand consumers. As I said, global shortage of beef, and we're seeing that on the supermarket shelves. So, absolutely acknowledge that it's tough for consumers. This won't have too much impact on that.
All right. Is there capacity, or would we, if we had more available farmland, be able to grow more beef at a profit? Should we be looking to expand beef production?
Well, it's interesting. Beef numbers are actually increasing again after a steady decline over a number of years. what we've seen is more beef genetics being used in our dairy herds. So we've got a lot more calves with beef genetics coming out of the dairy herd that are getting reared for finishing. So, sheep numbers continue to drop, but beef numbers have actually turned a corner and they're on the way up again.
Wow. So this is kind of a really nice bonus, I'm thinking, Kate. Can you figure out why it happened, why we've got in on this? Is it because we promised to buy $2 billion worth of military hardware from the United States, so we fixed our balance of trade with them, or what?
No, look, this is all about that food price inflation, the fact that tariffs are inflationary, and that US consumers were facing higher costs at the grocery store, and political pressure went on the administration. That's our understanding of it.
So that's a good early Christmas present for the beef industry, isn't it?
Oh, look, it's really good. And, we have great relationships with US producers because they actually acknowledge they need lean beef trim from New Zealand, and Australia's the same, because we're a really key ingredient in their hamburgers. They take our lean trim, they mix it with their sort of fattier grain-fed stuff, and that makes the perfect American hamburger.
Good on you, Kate. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Great. Nice to talk.
Cheers. Kate Acland, the chair of Beef and Lamb New Zealand. It's all good news.